Making ends meet requires proper preparation, and as graduation celebrations come to an end, hundreds of thousands of students are preparing to go to college, many for the first time. And with there being so much in the air right now in this country, one thing seems to be going strong, and that's the hefty price tag that comes with getting a college degree. So how can students earn a higher education without growing in debt? Well, Phil Cooper with 210 Financial is here to help answer some of those questions that parents typically have the most. Welcome back, Phil.
Sean, good to see you.
Good to see you too. So right off the bat, for those who may not have federal funding or they can't get much from FAFSA, what are some things that 210 Financial can do to help people who are eager to get a
That's
degree?
a hot topic right now, isn't it? School costs have just gone through the roof, as we know. And there's a lot of families that sit and wonder, how am I going to ever send my child to school and not have them come out of school with more debt than they can possibly handle? So what we're advising people to do today is to look at every option that's on the table. For example, today we can see that there are some grants available, there's some scholarships available. Those are things that don't have to be paid back, but not everybody qualifies for those things. So we need to know, first of all, where you stand financially. Do you qualify for Pell Grants or other types of grants, scholarships, anything like that? That is known by filling out the FAFSA form that you referenced earlier. Once that's filled out and submitted to a school, then the school can help you determine what you qualify for. Once you get the news back, and maybe the news is, well, you don't qualify for much because maybe your family is in an income level that doesn't allow them to have any grants or scholarships, now what do you do?
Right.
So we're advising people to look at all options, and here are some really, really good options that we've seen really take a lot of, or getting a lot of traction the last couple of years. What about junior college for a couple of years to get your first couple of years out of the way at a very inexpensive price? What about online schools? That's become a big thing anymore. So at least this, know every option that's available to you.
Yes.
The schools are equipped to help you with those kind of things. Firms like mine are equipped to help you with those kind of things, but just know every option that's available to you and your family.
That's right. And a quick option, Illinois Central College, they make things a lot easier for students. They eliminate a lot of tuition. So look into that if you feel so inclined to. But also, Phil, many parents are unsure how much debt is too much debt. So what should they take into consideration when the question becomes, should I co-sign or should I let my student take all of
Boy,
this?
that's a big topic. Let's unpack that one a little bit. How much should a child take on? How much debt should they take on? And then should the parents co-sign along with that? And a lot of times if the parent doesn't co-sign, the child's not getting the loan. So what does all this look like? There's a rule of thumb. Now, rules of thumb are meant to be bent and broken. It's not a hard line rule. It's a rule of thumb. It's just like, this is kind of a guideline. The entire amount of debt you take on for college should not exceed your entire first year of earnings once you graduate. Now, some people go, that's impossible. I'm going to be maybe a doctor or a lawyer, so I know I'm going to take on a lot of debt. There are exceptions to every rule. But if you can say, when I graduate, I am projected to make, and you know that number based on whatever degree you're looking for, I'm projected to make this much money, try not to take on more debt than that number. If you have to, we understand there's different things you have to look at there, but try not to let that happen. Now, should a parent co-sign? As long as they know the ramifications of this, why would a parent co-sign? Why would they not co-sign? If a person co-signs for any loan, whether it's a parent, a sibling, an aunt, uncle, whatever, you are now on the hook for that loan. So should that child not be able to pay that, it does fall down to the co-signer. So it's okay to co-sign as long as you know the ramifications of doing such a thing.
And a lot of this depends on credit, right?
100%.
So are there some early stage steps parents can take to ensure that their child has credit? So maybe they can get more on their own if they apply for a loan?
Teach your child the good basic principles of money management. Things we've talked about on this show all the time. Do you have your emergency fund in place? Are you extending too much of your monthly outgo to things that you shouldn't be, like credit cards and things like this? And then how do you help your child establish good credit? Well, teach them good money management skills, help them get a credit card that has a low limit on it. Why do we want a low limit? They can only do this much damage if they get out of hand a little bit, right? And then maybe you can co-sign on that or make them an authorized user on one of your credit cards or something like that, but keep that low limit in place because college students sometimes will get away from home, maybe the first time, and it just feels free.
They're just swiping. And,
there's no pain. Sean, this is amazing. So if you have to pull out cash to buy something, there's an emotional connection to that cash that just left your hand.
You're counting every cent.
You better
too.
believe it. You send out a 20 or a 50 or a 100, it
Yeah.
feels like something. A credit card swipe, nobody feels that. And boy, you can just zip, zip, zip. There are some very large organizations, we got to be careful on who we're mentioning, but there's some very large theme parks in this world who have decided to give you a wristwatch to zip across anything you want to buy because there's no emotional feeling to that. And their percentage of people that go to those theme parks and spend exponentially more because there's no more attachment to their money, that's the same thing with a credit card. So have your kids know the ramifications of that. Have them carry some cash in their pocket. And when that cash is gone, it's gone. So be careful in teaching them that. Make sure that you teach them good money management skills, get a good a nest egg in place, a good emergency fund in place, small limit credit card, help them build credit slowly.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Phil.
Same, Rashawn. Thank you.
Always. Now, Central Illinois, join us on June 16th for our next edition of Money Monday. We're going to have more things to explore. We're going to learn some more great things from Phil. But stick with us. We'll be back.